What is up, Ramblin Raiders listeners? Welcome back and Ramblin Raiders onlookers, welcome back to the podcast. We have a great episode in store for you tonight. This evening, before we get started on recording this ep, I would like to give a shout out to this week's sponsor. Our sponsor is Shane Bergeson. He is with Stanfield Properties, one of the best realtors in the business. If you are in the greater Houston area and need help finding the right home to fit your needs, our boy Shane Bergeson is the best realtor Houston has to offer. No lies detected. Shane has made a name for himself as the go-to guy for residential properties and has helped countless residents from Friendswood, Pearland, Shenandoah, Conroe, Galveston, and League City. I'm sure he's expanded that by now from, when we helped put this ad together, because he's all over the place, always working for his clients. And he's helped them find the right homes to suit their living situations. Whether you are looking to upgrade, downsize, relocate, or your forever home, Shane Bergeson will find the perfect match for you. I know Shane personally, as we have grown up together and remain close. He's one of my best friends. I love him like a brother. And I mean this when I say it. I have a lot, Nick, my own brother, Lane, a lot of people who I'm close to and I care about in my life. I truly cannot think of anyone, sorry, Nick, I would rather recommend than Shane when it comes to customer service and having a hard work ethic. I know when I decide to get my first home and buy my first home, I will be using Shane as my realtor. Reach out to Shane on his direct line at 832-206-4495. Again, 832-206-4495. Or you can also email him at Shane, SHANE, at Stanfield, STANFIELD, properties.com. We at Ramblin Raiders are proud to partner with Shane. Tell him that the Ramblin Raiders sent you. This is a big deal, and receive a 1% discount when buying or selling your next home. Every discount matters, and if you tell him the Ramblin Raiders sent you, he will give you a 1% discount. Don't miss out on this opportunity to work with an amazing realtor and get the home of your dreams and just work with a great guy. And now, Nick, let's get on with the show, man.
From one great guy to another great guy. And I'm just going to intro myself tonight.
Yeah, there you go. I know it's weird, man, with our visuals. We have to sync this up with our intro somehow. We'll figure it out eventually, man.
Yeah, no, we will. We will. And tonight was actually really easy because I didn't have to lug all of our equipment around to wherever we were recording at. All I had to do was set up my laptop, hop on a Zoom call, and hit record. So I'm a happy man today. But what was the nickname you had for me?
So here we go. For everybody watching and listening in, dude, I'm jealous, man. I could use a nice sparkling water right now. Unfortunately, we don't have beer. It's Sunday afternoon. I got to drive back home in this sleeting weather. Weird seeing all the white, seeing the snow in Texas this time of year. But my nickname for you, man, was going to be Nick. I love it when Tech blows people out so I don't have to watch the second half.
Yeah, no, that was
you yesterday, huh?
Yeah, that was me yesterday. I watched the first half of the Iowa State game, and I didn't need to watch the second half. Had some things I needed to do, got them done. So,
dude, if you remember, I texted you and said that I was already planning on lighting up my I was looking forward to lighting up the victory stove at halftime. That's how far ahead I was, and how many chickens I had already counted.
Yeah, you were counting them before they were roost, for sure. But yeah, it was a good game. Excited to recap that and preview a few other games in this episode.
Yeah. I'm gonna get my headphones out because my computer is literally an antique. It's like if you watch the show Entourage at the very end when Turtle gets a Mac laptop and he's super excited about it. And if you watch it nowadays, it is so bulky and so old. That is the exact same laptop that I have.
Really? That's why you're lagging a little bit too, I guess.
Am I lagging right now? I'm on the Capitol Wi-Fi.
Just a little bit. I think you would probably want to blame your laptop over the internet, but
over the Capitol Wi-Fi, since they're spying on me right now. The government's watching in.
Well, you better watch out. We might be storming. Some people might be storming the Texas Capitol here pretty soon.
Dude, we had to evacuate. And luckily I was just, being a lazy employee, and I cut myself and the guy I'm supervising, our legislative intern.
Yeah.
I just cut him early, and I was like, hey, let's get out of here. We have nothing else to do today. Luckily, my laziness paid off because we left right when they had to evacuate the Texas Capitol because people were protesting.
Nice.
But you guys are listening again to the Ramblin Raiders Podcast, episode 78. No title yet. We're going to figure something out. but it's a premium Texas Tech content with a laugh. We try to provide a laugh. I hope that we're successful in doing so. If you don't already, guys and gals, follow us on social media, rate, review, subscribe. It means a lot. You know, whether you're doing that on Apple Podcast, whether you're doing it on Spotify. Now we have put that in our notes, YouTube channel, and we're getting Twitch soon, Nick. And our boy Chris in Rosenberg, I looked back at it and he was telling us, he was saying he was going to drop a sub. That's the terminology we're talking about.
Drop it, baby.
Drop that subscription on our YouTube channel and on Twitch. It goes a long way. Nick and I, you know, I'm a grandpa when it comes to this very simple lingo with streaming services. So drop that sub, drop it like it's hot, and we really appreciate it. It goes a long way in helping us continue to grow this thing and bring you all the best quality content that we can. So rate, review, subscribe, Apple Pod, Spotify, wherever you're listening, or YouTube and Twitch. If you'd like to, you know, look at our merch and see Nick and I's beautiful faces. At least that's what our mothers tell us. Website, RamblinRaiders.com. 10% of our merch goes to charity. Last month we gave to Compassion International. This month we're going to look into doing something else. But all the merchandise, guys, we have our hats. I was wearing a hoodie last week. You know, Catherine's actually out in the bullpen wearing a Ramblin Raiders hoodie. Looks great.
That's right.
I could have her come in here and show you all that. We'll see. We'll see if she's
maybe.
She's watching a movie on my iPad, so she might be plugged in and not be able to listen right now. We have shirts. We have it all. So, you know, 10% merch. Also on our website, we have our write-ups. Nick put out a really good one a couple of weeks ago. We're trying to stay consistent with that. We also have
like a month ago now.
Is that a month? God, man. We
feels like it. Feels like it. Maybe we'll get some writers on our staff or something.
Hey, if you're into writing and you're pretty good at it, as Chris Beard would say, if you're elite, you know, exceptional writer, hit us up and we'll get you on staff.
And if you're in it for the clout and not for the money, hit us up.
Yeah, that's what we want. We want strictly clout chasers. Episodes downloadable from the website as well. We have our merch, we have pictures, we have information, our mission statement, all the, you know, everything you could ever want involved with Ramblin Raiders Podcast. It is on that website, ramblinraiders.com. Go check it out. Podcast plugs. We have, you know, Ramblin Raiders Media has 3 podcasts under its umbrella now, brought to you by yours truly right here. We have Laney's Locks, presented by Ramblin Raiders Media. That's where Hot Takes with Laney Cakes, who's actually in LaBerge doing a little gambling right now.
The World Tour,
the thing he loves the most. Splitting tens. No, well, what do they say? Never to split? Is it?
I think you always split 8s.
Something. Whatever you're not supposed to split, he's splitting those right now.
I don't play blackjack too much.
So we're actually going to Vegas in a couple of weeks. I'm looking forward to that. But Laney's Locks, you know, he has a couple different guys on there. The Candy Stick, BD Joe, and then sometimes the Chef, who's been hot of late, giving you all the, you know, latest on sports, any kind of betting action across the sports community. So go check that out. And again, drop a sub on wherever you're hearing that. We're trying to get it on Spotify soon. But Laney's Locks, we also have Loose Lips with Gator Ships. This one's a little bit more for the ladies, but men can tune in as well. Nick, there's going to be some really funny and just good episodes coming up. You know, Gator is a one-of-a-kind personality. You know, we had her on our podcast, and we were super excited to interview her. She's a lot of fun. She's cool, and she's a Ramblin' Raider. She's a Red Raider and a Ramblin' Raider, and she's going to have a very interesting cast of characters on her podcast.
Yeah, those should be coming out here in a few weeks. Hopefully towards the end of January, we'll have our first episode released.
Yes. So Loose Lips with Gator Ships. I'm not kidding when I say the ideas that she's been bouncing off of me and Nick and Nick and me, the ideas she's been bouncing off of us has been great. She has some people lined up that have hilarious or just have very entertaining stories. She's a great entertainer. This is going to be a fun podcast. So go follow her and Laney's Locks. Go follow them on Instagram. Loose Lips with Gator Ships has a Facebook page. They both have Twitter. Follow on all the socials unless you're, you know, hiding from the AI and you're scared of government overreach, as we've seen Twitter get purged these last couple of days.
Right.
When the president got stripped of his Twitter privileges. But if you're on Twitter, go follow all of our social medias, Loose Lips with Gator Ships, Laney's Locks. Nick, we made it to, I hope we're making good time right now, but we're at the look around campus. I tried to get through those plugs relatively quickly. What's first and foremost, man, what do you got? It's a little chilly out there in Lubbock, I saw today.
It is. I did not prep for a look around campus this week. I was more focused on previewing Texas and Baylor in my Matador Motivational. But
Luckily, I got
will
you
plug
covered,
one
man.
more thing, though. I will plug one more thing. On our Instagram, we've been doing weekly game score predictions for the basketball games. And this week, Cameron Litzkow, he was the closest score to the Iowa State score. His prediction was. So he gets a free koozie. Y'all stay tuned on the Instagram account to get your free koozies. If you just simply put a score prediction into our story. So keep that in mind. But yeah, look around campus. It is mighty chilly in Lubbock today. It's snowing.
I saw some pictures. There's nothing quite as nice as a snow day in Lubbock, Texas, especially on Texas Tech's campus, man. It's beautiful seeing Will Rogers statue covered in snow. It's a sight for sore eyes. It snowed a couple times when we were in school up there, and I don't know what it is. I loved Lubbock in the wintertime, man. I loved it when it was cold up there. I thought it was a lot of fun. You go to class in your hunting gear, your duck jacket, or whatever the hottest gear you have.
Your bean boots.
Come out. Yeah, and then you're stripping it, usually by the time you leave in the afternoon. Sometimes you don't, but snowing on campus, so drive safe, be careful, go build a snowman. Don't do anything inappropriate, Nick, as we saw a couple of years ago where the snowman was he was exposed, a little too exposed out there in the cold weather. Didn't seem to bother him, though, I'll say that. So y'all have fun on campus with all that snow going on. And next, the last thing, really the only thing besides snow day at Texas Tech, was the Lady Red Raider basketball team lost a really close game, man. A heartbreaker to the Sooners. Lost by 1 point this last Wednesday, 75-74. It was one of those, I know that, no loss is a good loss, but or you don't want to, have a what is it? Morale. Yeah, it's like a moral victory, But I got to say, this was about as close to that as you could get. I mean, it was one of those losses that as a culture, you can tell you're growing and you're developing and you're building character. As much of a cliche as that is, they are building. This is a character building and defining loss. And I'm really excited to see where this team can go. Vivian Gray had 20, led Texas Tech scores with 24 points, followed closely by Alexis Gordon, who had 22 points. Just, really out-rebounded the Sooners in this game. They had 12 offensive rebounds to the Sooners, Lady Sooners, 7 rebounds, and then 41 total. I mean, this is a game they should have won. They really dominated the stat sheet. I'll go down the line here, kind of in total, with 41-26 in the rebounding margin, 18-14. Tech won the assist margin, 5 blocks to 0, 6 steals to 5 steals. They did have more turnovers, which kind of cost them in the end, 16-10 in the turnover margin, and then the fouls were pretty close. But they shot the ball well. I mean, this was, again, just a character-building game. They were right there, and this is something that you can, keep in your back pocket as they get ready to play the Lady Cyclones today at 3 o'clock as they play Iowa State. I mean, they're going to build off this momentum. Even though it was a tough L, expect them to do big things moving forward.
Yeah, it's somewhat of a rebuilding year after everything that happened with Coach Stallings in the offseason, just like tearing down our program. But Coach Garlick coming in there, like you said, we don't like to chalk it up to a moral victory, but, we're building, our program back up right now, and that was huge. Big game. And another big game against Iowa State today at 3 p.m. By the time we release the episode, it'll be over probably. Oh, definitely. I'm going to say it's for some reason like quadruple overtime, like takes 24 hours. But
the longest game in history of college women's basketball.
But it is free today because of the snow. You can go to the game for free. So if you're a time traveler, go back, and if you want to go to the game, go in for free.
Go check it out. Very good, man. Well, that's all we have. Short and sweet. Look around campus. Again, go enjoy that snow. Don't be afraid to trek through it to get to the Lady Red Raider basketball game and root them on against Iowa State.
Yep.
Speaking of Iowa State, Nick, as we transition here into our kind of main body part, our main body part of this episode, dude, speaking of Iowa State, 2 years in a row, if you joined us on Instagram for our, post-game reaction, instant reaction and recap, you saw that I was enjoying a fat cigar and a couple of beers. Catherine and I went and got some hibachi last night to celebrate.
That's right.
Extra dirty gin martinis. I like whiskey and gin, but after a dirty win like that, you got to celebrate with the dirtiest of gin martinis, man. So I hit those hard with her, and we enjoyed it. Had a lot of fun, dude. That was a fun win, man. Hilton Coliseum. I'll say it again. Home away from home. Daddy was home yesterday. Chris Beard was daddy, and dude, they took care of business, man. What'd you just kind of initial reaction, man? What stood out to you the most?
Yeah, as we mentioned earlier, I only watched the first half of the game. Call me a bad fan. Call me whatever you want. We were blowing them out, so I thought I could get some other things done.
Yeah,
But
resourceful.
I saw a tweet from Eric Kelly, who's a news reporter in Lubbock. 54 first half points for the Red Raiders is the most ever in Big 12 play for a Chris Beard coached Texas Tech team. So some records were had and broken yesterday. 2 big wins in the Hilton Coliseum in Ames, Iowa, going back to last year, 30-point win, and then this big win against the Cyclones, who are struggling. But it's always good to see a team that we're trying to progress and build upon in our season, and it's always good to see a team not play down to the level of their opponent. I think that was a big statement win for the Red Raiders. And Iowa State, they're not chopped liver, but they're not the best team in the Big 12. But it's always good to go on the road and win. So
I was just about to say. I mean, Iowa State, they're clearly not, to the same pedigree they've been in the past, and
no.
They're on a down year. But this team isn't as bad as we made them look. I mean, they played Baylor to a relatively close game a week ago, I believe, or a couple games ago, and Tech just dominated, dude, in all facets of the game. To reiterate what we said yesterday on Instagram Live, it was a thing of beauty. The offense, in the Chris Beard era and a half, it was clearly evident we were knocking down shots. It was poetry in motion, beautiful thing to watch. As a diehard basketball fan, a guy who's played and coached a little bit of the game, I mean, it was nothing – puts a smile on my face, like watching the fluidity of that first half and really the entire, throughout the entirety of the game.
Yeah.
Truly, this team's best game of the year, and hopefully one that going into a very tough stretch, very tough week ahead, hopefully they can build on that momentum. Two kind of quick things. McClung and Edwards heating up at the same time is potent and just dangerous, dude. That is dangerous for opponents, because these two guys, when they're feeding off each other and when they're getting open looks for other people, I don't remember here, let me pull it up really quick. Oh, that's a screenshot. I know Edwards finished with 22.
No, he had 19. He had 16 in the first half and then 19.
Okay. So Edwards had 19 and McClung had, I think, 18. They were right there together, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so when those two guys are producing at that level and we can get them going at the same time, like I said, watch out below, because it's something special. Also, Kevin McCullough can't go without being stated. Guy had 11 boards and 15 points. That's sexy, dude. That is sexy AF. He's a guy that we're going to lean on and watch for him to continue to dominate the stat sheet, not just with points, but with boards, with assists, just getting, helping get our offense going, man. It was a lot of fun to watch. Chris Beard's intensity in that K-State game was clearly evident. It was through the roof, something that could not be ignored. And I'm wondering if that carried over.
It did
with our players into this game. If I mean, their energy level seemed to be matched with what Chris Beard was putting out in that K-State game, and that was just huge for us.
Yeah, and to that point, who was the announcer, the Baylor guy that was announcing this game that you
King McClure. Oh yeah, I thought he was awesome. I would love to have him back.
Early in the game, he was telling how he was hanging around during the shoot around time around 8:30, and the two teams were just completely different mindsets going in and vibes going in, where Iowa State was quiet, reserved, just chill, as King put it.
Mm-hmm.
in their shoot around. Chris Beard was up in people's faces, doing push-ups with the team, yelling, getting the guys going early, 8:30 in the morning. These Red Raiders were ready to play from the initial tip-off, through the whole game. And I think it was because of their pregame preparation with Chris Beard. Chris Beard's coaching them hard right now.
Good.
And I
Yeah.
love it because he sees that we're in a pivotal spot in the Big 12, sitting in fourth place right now after that win. And, we need to get going. We haven't even touched. We're not even close to our potential as a team.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that Chris Beard is coaching our guys right now, it's showing, all of the Red Raider Nation that, we're here to play. Chris Beard is here to build this team together, and that, in Beard we trust.
Yeah. Well, the team we saw, that's a good point. The team we saw yesterday, I put this in my notes, was that team, that Texas Tech, that version of Texas Tech we saw will be competitive against anybody. Now, granted, I'm going to read you all the stats. We shot it lights out. You're going to have games like that where you're just shooting the ball so well that it doesn't matter who's in front of you. But, that offensive just fluidity that we saw yesterday and the stability on offense, if we can continue that, this team will be very competitive moving forward in Big 12 play. We shot it from field goal percentage total almost 60%. That's just unreal. 58.9, 38.9 from three, which is also spectacular. Free throw percentage, they were 18 of 21. You can tell they've been working very hard on their free throws. And even in the K-State game, we saw a great free throw shooting percentage. Yesterday's game was at 85.7. They out-rebounded Iowa State by 7 points, 33-26. They had 15 assists to Iowa State's 10, 5 more assists, 2 more blocks, 2-0, 11 steals over Iowa State's 6 steals, and they had less turnovers, only 10 turnovers to Iowa State's 15. They committed less fouls. They dominated. They just won every aspect of this game. And as you were talking about earlier about, Chris Beard doing push-ups with them, getting them fired up.
Yeah.
He's also expressed that in this COVID era of basketball, where you're only playing in front of 1,000 people, you have to look within yourself to find motivation. You're not going to get it from the crowd necessarily. Then I don't let that discourage Red Raiders from going to home games, at the United Supermarkets Arena, because your presence will be felt somewhat. Yeah. Raider Riot, you're still a big, part of this. But
you're my boy, Blue.
You're my boys, Blue. But and girls, the thing is that. Yeah, man, the Raider Riot doesn't discriminate, dude. They got everybody from all walks of we'll give our boy Tyler Thurman quick shout-out plug. They take everybody, man, in the Raider Riot. They want y'all to come out and have fun and celebrate and, cheer this team on to dubs. But you have to motivate yourself. You have to find it from within. You got to light that fire from within and find inspiration that way. And Chris Beard is taking it to the next level, and that's what's going to get this team. I mean, you saw us during the game, or us, Nick and I standing up as well. But you saw the players standing up, yelling off, on when they're up 30 points, they're yelling. They're, about steals and hustle plays, and that's the kind of energy it's going to take to be competitive.
Yeah. So, a couple of other things, just real quick. Jackson is to that point, Edwards' shooting came alive in the first half. Like you said, he had 19 points. His slump is over. He's back in the starting lineup for the second game in a row. And who volunteered as, again, King, the announcer, said, volunteered to come off the bench is Terrence Shannon. And this team is playing unselfishly right now. They're finding their roles and they're learning their roles on this team. Shannon should be a starter. He's going to be drafted this year if he goes to the draft.
Yeah.
And he's coming off the bench, volunteering to do that so Edwards can get back into the starting lineup to build his confidence. Like, that's teamwork. Yeah. That's the unselfishness that Chris Beard teaches to these guys, that preaches to these guys, and I love to see that.
For sure, man. Dude, Nick, that's an awesome point. But are you even looking at me right now? I just did a little free advertising for Alpha Brain on it. I'm over here holding it up and letting everybody know in the corner. Any word that's, more than 3 syllables or more than 8 letters long that Nick and I say, it's all right here, man.
It's all brought to you by Alpha Brain.
It's all brought to you by Alpha Brain. Just a quick free plug there.
I don't have any Alpha Brain in my system right now.
Half the time I don't even know what I'm saying. The words just come out, and I wonder if they're correct or not. Usually if they are, it's thanks to this stuff right here.
Man, we'll have to tag Joe
Also,
Rogan in this.
look at
Nice.
that, guys. Just ID to get into the Capitol. I don't know why I want to show you all these
What is this show and tell?
inanimate objects, inanimate objects in the office right now. Yeah, but no, that's proof that I promise that we're not just full-time podcasters. I'm not lying. That's the reason I want to show that we're not lying. You know, I'm at my place of work at the Capitol right now. We're not just a couple of bums hopping on the mic. But if we were, we'd hope y'all would still come listen to what we have to say.
It might be better if we were just only podcasters. I think that's the goal initially, right?
That's the end goal. If you guys help us out, we're going to get better and better, and then we can quit our day jobs.
Nice, yeah.
All right, let's move forward into the UT preview. I'm really excited about this week. Actually, I know most people would be probably nervous. I see this as a golden opportunity for the Texas Tech basketball to go out to build off of that just unforgettable win in Iowa State, that ass kicking, if you will, and show that they are a top 15 team in this country by winning one of these games. I'm not into, I know we talked about it with, the Lady Red Raider basketball team, that there's no such thing as moral victories. And I agree with that. I think Tech is good enough to win one of these two games. Don't get me wrong. It's not going to be easy. This is a very challenging, daunting opponents ahead. But after doing a little more research and watching against UT's been in some dogfights this year. They have. And I'll go back and show you all their schedule or read off some of their schedule, but they've won a lot of close games. They're the number 4 team in the country, and they're very solid. I will not, deny that. But more so than Baylor, I think Tech has a real opportunity to knock off a top 5 team in the Texas Longhorns this week if they play up to their level. Nick, what's your instant reaction, man? Just with UT, with the Longhorns, they're what are they? Are they 10-1 right now?
Yeah, they're 10-1. I think their only loss was to Nova.
Nova
Early
by 4.
December.
And it was a very good game. Yeah, Nova by 4. But, what do you see being just kind of the biggest maybe concerns or things that you want to exploit going into this game kind of instant reaction-wise?
Yeah, I think a big X factor that maybe you didn't even think about, Jackson, is, since this game is in Austin, will you be at the game, and how much of an impact will you make if you do go to the game on the sidelines?
Wow, no, I'll look for tickets. I must have it mixed up. So Baylor's at home on Saturday, and okay,
Austin, Texas. We're playing Texas in Austin at the Drum.
you bet your ass I'll be at that game
On Wednesday night.
If I can get tickets, or I'll be at Schultz Beer Garden just freezing outside, like getting Raider power chants going.
Nice. Well, I just wanted to ask, that could be an X factor if you are in attendance. I know
a Ramblin Raider in attendance is always a game changer for these teams.
Except for the
sometimes
U of H game.
Yeah, except for that one time against U of H.
No, but this Texas team, and unlike you, I'm not excited to play them.
Yeah.
This might be the time in the season where they're at their hottest right now. But at the same time, this doesn't feel like the Texas team that starts off hot and typically sputters out towards the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
It just plays in the NIT tournament like they did a few years ago. Had to put that in there. Whereas we go to the NCAA tournament, they go to the NIT. But
that was when we went to the Natty that year too. Actually, when they won the NIT.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right. But they're sitting in technically first place with Baylor in the Big 12 at 4-0. They're only lost to a pretty good Villanova team. They had a game. Their first Big 12 game was supposed to be against Baylor, and it got postponed due to COVID. They're 4-0 in conference. The roster is pretty deep. They played 10 men, mostly in the rotation, and they're going to be well rested and deep. So the talent on this roster is also better than in years past. We'll get into their personnel here in a minute, but I'm a little bit more worried about this Texas team than you are.
Yeah, no. Well, don't get me wrong. It's going to be an uphill battle, and if we win on Wednesday, it'll be one of the bigger wins in
top 5.
in the Chris Bowl, just in general in the Chris Beard era for Big 12 against Big 12 foes. But
you're right.
Texas Tech's defense. My initial thought on this: Texas Tech's defense will be put to the test, not just on Wednesday, but on Saturday. This week, we're going to find out just how good this Texas Tech defense is, because both these teams Texas more so than Baylor, in my opinion. Baylor's also kind of like us, where they clamp you down defensively, and then they also, have the capability to go off on offense, but they're more defensively oriented, a defensive-minded team. UT plays good D, but they like to get out and go. They like to push. They like to run. They have, as you just said, they're very guard heavy. They have a three-headed monster in. And we'll get into that set. And Ramey, Coleman the third, and Jones. I mean, all three of those guys can hurt you, and they like to push. They like to attack you and be aggressive. So Texas Tech's defense is going to be put to the test and have to show out. What? Oh yeah. Let me before we get into players, let me read this off. So these are some close games they've had in the Maui Invitational. I believe that was when it was. They played Davidson to 78-76. They crushed Indiana. That's a big win. They also beat North Carolina 69-67, 2-point game. Lost to Villanova by 4. They played Oklahoma State to a team we lost to. They beat them by 3 points in a close game. So that's another close one. They waxed Kansas. I don't think anybody saw. I mean, they could have won, but I didn't think it was going to be by that margin. They beat Iowa State, a team we just demolished, 78-72, 6-point game. Yeah. 6-point game. So, they also just beat West Virginia by 2. This team is very good, but they're not dominant. I'll say that. Okay. They've played a lot of close games this year. Let's get into their player personnel, Nick, as you just talked about.
Sure.
The three-headed monster. They're very, very talented at the guard position. You have, I forgot, Ramey, as I said, who's a junior, and they're all experienced, which is the other thing that I think they have an advantage over Texas Tech to an extent, is their experience. Coleman the third, a senior who's been, good for him his entire career. Andrew Jones, who actually was that a year ago? I mean, he's an amazing feel-good story for college basketball. Suffered from leukemia, had leukemia and battled all the way back. Honestly, it's great to see him having success and doing well. Granted, you hope he doesn't against your team, against Texas Tech. This
coming off a game winner too.
Yeah, no, but it's an amazing story. Glad to see him back to 100% and playing well, and he's doing very well. They average in Ramey, Coleman the third, and then Jones. They all in that consecutive order. It's 13.8, 13.6, and 13.4. They're interchangeable. They're all right there. Any of them can go off in a game, and with that kind of consistency and dispersing their offensive productivity and their abilities with those guards, that's what makes him so effective. Is they're just anybody can you're going to have to defend at all positions because anyone can get you, man.
And
it's hard to guard. It's hard to guard when you have 3 guys that can score like that.
A lot of guys to look out for sure. 4 players, like you just touched on, with double-digit points averaging per game, with Kai Jones not far behind with 9 points a game.
Yeah.
Somebody I want to highlight, though, and I think he torched us like 2 years ago. We didn't really see him much last year because of injuries, but Jericho Sims, their big 6'10" forward.
Senior,
I remember having matchup issues with him a couple of years ago, really in last year for the minutes that he did play against us. Man, look for them to kind of like Iowa State tried to do against us with Solomon Jones.
Yeah.
Look for UT to push the rock down low to Jericho Sims and what's his name, Greg Brown.
That's the other guy I was going to say. The freshman Brown is stepping up, and then you're right. Sims he's an X factor. You got to watch out for him.
Yeah, they could cause problems for us. Those 2 guys down low. Our defense really needs to game plan for that. But at the same time, you got to watch out for the guards who are putting up their points. So. It's going to be we'll see how good our defense is this game. I think Beard and them will have the boys ready.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you brought up the bigs because that can segue us into the keys to victory here. And I'll go ahead with my last one, which was Texas Tech's bigs will have to step up in this game. To your point, Nick, what you just said, I was thinking about it. Santos Silva, Tyreek Smith, and really are kind of, McCullough, those midway guys that are, they're not true bigs, but they play like bigs and they rebound and they're the high-low presence and can attack the rim. Those 3 guys, and I'm trying to think, Smith, Santos Silva, who's going to have to rebound and really play physical as a guard is Terrence Shannon, and we saw him get 5 rebounds against Iowa State. He needs to rebound at a high level and kind of be aggressive. Our bigs are going to have to play well because there's a height, disparity there. And we need Santos Silva to lock up and to get boards and to be aggressive. Tyreek Smith has had some big blocks here and there and has given us good minutes and attack the glass. We need him to, give us good time off the bench. And McCullough and Shannon, I mean, we're going to have to rebound as a unit, and we're going to have to help the helper. Will help, not necessarily
rotate over.
Somewhat, yeah, rotate over. I mean, I guess
technically,
but yeah, help the helper, and also just help off of whoever you're guarding in a way to be able to get back to the perimeter, but help on Jericho Sims. You cannot leave Santos Silva on an island with Jericho Sims. We're going to have to help out, double down, and it's tough, but they're going to have to be in good position to be able to rotate, get out to their shooters, get out to their perimeter and the wing players that can knock it down, but be able to watch, Brown inside, watch Sims inside, and not let those guys dominate this game.
Yeah, good points all around. Key to victory, we got to play a full game. And unlike our football team, well, really to this point in the season, our offense has not been up to par and for basketball. And last week, yesterday, we saw it against Iowa State and somewhat against Kansas State. So we're coming up, we're going to have those defensive matchups on one end of the floor, and we're going to have to execute on that. But on the other end, we're going to have to score points with them because Texas does have a high-powered offense. They're going to score points. Even the best team in the nation at defense, which, we're top 5 for sure in the nation with defense, we're still going to have to score points to win the game. So I'd like to see a complete game. Keep Santos Silva out of foul trouble. He's going to be beating Sims down low. He's going to have more opportunity to make fouls. That kind of came out weird, but hopefully he can stay out of. I made it sound like I was like rooting for him to have fouls. Like he had more opportunity.
Make him count.
Well, that's actually a good point. Make him count. Make them earn it from the free throw line.
Yeah. That's my last two. I was going to say defense has to slow Texas down. Texas pushes the ball. And a lot of the games, I'll go back briefly to the games they win. They like it in the 70s. They win 78 or they score 78, 72, or against West Virginia, 78 against Iowa State, 84, upper 70s. So they're a team that, they push it. They like to get close to the 80 mark if they can. If Tech can hold them into the 60s, high 60s, I think we win this game. Defense has to, slow them down, make them earn it. And then also win the turnover battle, try to force these guards into, fluster, as you said, Nick, about, I think you said that, fluster these guards, into making some turnovers while also taking care of the ball, win the turnover battle, win that margin. I think that's how we get it done. My score prediction, I have the Red Raiders 72, Texas Longhorns 65. They get a 7-point win on the road. And it really fires up Red Raider Nation and gets this team trending in the right direction as we get into, deeper and deeper into Big 12 play. How about you, Nick?
Man, I'd like to think that
just do it.
Out of these 2 top 5 matchups this week that we have with Texas on Wednesday and Baylor on Saturday, I like to think that we'll get 1 of 2.
I hope so. Yeah, it'll be tough, but
I really don't think we're going to win this game. I think it's going to be a good one. Having UT at home, although the fans aren't really a huge factor, I do think that they'll come out and they're way too hot right now for us. I think on the second go-around, on the back half of Big 12 play, we'll get them at home. But in Austin this week, unless you can be a huge X factor in the stands.
Hey, just like they tried to storm the Capitol, I'm going to storm Frank Irwin Center, and I'm going to cause some havoc, man, and just raise hell.
Right. Unless you can be a huge X factor, I got Texas, pulling this one out against the Red Raiders. I think it's going to be a high-powered offense kind of game. I got 85 to Texas Tech 79.
All right. Well, keeping it close, I can definitely see that being an avenue, an outcome that could take place here if UT gets it going, especially early. Let's go ahead and transition now into the Baylor preview. My initial just statement: this team is loaded and tough on both ends of the court. They play really good defense and they can score the rock pretty well. This will be an uphill battle. Now, this is a game. I'm definitely, it's at home, which is nice. I had that mixed up. before we started recording. Love learning this kind of stuff on the fly. Just makes for a great broadcast, a great podcast. But it's going to be an uphill battle. Baylor isn't invincible by any means, but they are the best team in this league, and they have a lot of their games have been canceled so far, so they still have a lot to prove. And they're just, we talked about UT's triple-headed monster. Baylor has they like to play small ball, if you will, with their 6'4", 6'3" guards, if you can call that small ball. I know in D1 basketball it's technically is, but take that with a grain of salt, a little sarcasm. Small ball. They're very guard oriented. They're big physical guards on both ends of the floor, and they're very tough. So that's my initial instant reaction. And guys like for players to watch for. I mean, Jared Butler is just an all around beast. I mean, you go read. I'll go pull it up. You read his stats. It's impressive. He dishes it well. He boards it well. He scores it well. He's just a stud, man. I mean, he's an all around, badass player.
Yeah, no, I agree. And Jared Butler, all Big 12. They got a few other guys that are all Big 12 caliber players. If not, there was a third teamer on there on last year's squad. I think it was Teague, or it might have been Davion Mitchell. He was honorable mention. Big 12.
And he's back, and he's putting up numbers again.
Yeah, but like you said, they're high powered, and they deserve to be number 2 in the nation. I personally think that they might have ran the table last year in the tournament and won a national title with that team last year.
They were good, yeah. Tech should have beat them on the road, man. That game pissed me off last year because we didn't finish strong. But I'll argue that this year's team might. I mean, I know they've lost some pieces, but they're coming back strong, dude. They might be better. Yeah. Who knows? We'll see.
Yeah. One breakout name that I want to mention is, and I like him, Jonathan Chachoa out of Cameroon.
That's a good pronunciation there.
Thanks, sir. I practiced it before we started.
Because there's no way in hell I'm terrible. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, he's having a pretty good breakout year. Transferred from UNLV, sat out last year with a red shirt.
I pronounce Thompson wrong sometimes.
Averaging 9 points and 7 boards a game. Watch out for him. He'll be a name that the announcers will have fun with, and you need to watch out for coming into Saturday's matchup against the Bears. And then, like you said, you got Jared Butler, Davion Mitchell, Makayo Teague, who had a monster dunk last night against TCU. Yesterday against TCU.
Teague, Vital's another big guard for him. I mean, their guards are physical. They're big. That's where they're bruisers.
Yeah. Well, but hey, look, they came out against TCU on the road, and we get them on the road as well. Like we'll be in the USA, and they came out and it was close in the first half, and they weren't shooting well. They got into foul trouble. Their big men got into foul trouble early, and if it weren't for Jared Butler going absolutely bananas in the second half, I think he finished with 28 points. If he didn't do that, then who knows what would happen.
That's what I was saying. They're not invincible, but they're. I mean, you have to bring it. You're going to have to bring your best effort to have a shot.
Yeah, and that's what I actually think we'll win this game when we get into the score predictions and the outcome. But
Tyler Likey.
Tyler does like you.
Sweet, man. I'm trying to look up. I was trying to remember who that big, goofy white dude they have. Matthew, is it Mayer? See, I can't pronounce anybody. I can't pronounce anybody's name correctly ever. So, I think it looks like Mayer. We'll go with that. Matthew Mayer. Just my one Achilles heel with podcasting, man. The voice, it's pronunciation of names is just god awful. 6'9" junior out of Austin.
It's John Mayer's brother.
Oh, okay. He kind of looks like him. The with the mustache and the little
with his bowl cut
chin strap he's got going on, his bowl cut. But 6'9", he's out of Austin, Texas. He's a guy who, is they're probably one of their tallest guys they have.
Oh, really?
And he's labeled as a guard. So, 6'9" guard. But other than that, their guards are physical and like big presence, but they're not like, he's on the tall end of their total height throughout this starting, or he's He's a starter, or throughout their lineup. Sorry, I don't. He's not. But he plays 15 minutes a game, anyways. So this is a team that, anyways, and the reason I say that is because I wanted to transition to our keys to victory here.
Sure.
It's tough. Unless, do you have something else you want to say, Nick? Sorry, I was getting sidetracked there.
No, we're good. We're good. You really struggled with Mr. Mayer there. He threw you for a loop.
Well, Mayer, man, he's just when you see him, you're like, wait, why is this guy's a basketball player? Like, I can't I can't wrap my head around it. Anyways, no, but my point is that their guards are physical, but from a size perspective, I mean, Terrence Shannon, we have some guys some forwards, kind of hybrid guards that can play with these guys and can attack and be aggressive. They don't have a bunch of rim protectors. Let's put it that way. Whereas, Jericho Sims for UT, you attack the rim, they got some dudes down there that can send it back the other way. Baylor, I'd like to see us isolate and get some good matchups for guys like Shannon, McClung, obviously Edwards, but McCullough. I feel like I'm for some reason blanking with Burton. Some of our big physical guards that we have, these guys need to be aggressive, dude. Attack the rim, make Mayer come over and block you, his lanky ass, come over and get a block. But bottom line, out physical their guards. If we can out physical, and it's not easy to do. It's very easily said, not so easily done. If Tech can try to bring it to him, take it to him, drive the rim. Oh, Micah Peavy, dude. That's who I've been sitting here. I'm like, who? There's something I've been wanting to say and I've been missing it. And I wanted to bring that up in the Iowa State recap about him driving the basket. That is my favorite Micah Peavy. That makes me happy. Iowa State Micah Peavy, greater sign any other Micah Peavy. He's a guy that we can get a mismatch at the high post, and if he keeps attacking the glass, dude, he's so athletic. He's so dynamic. He's a guy that and he's got the height, disparity, the height advantage over some of these Baylor guards.
Yeah.
We need to Shannon, Peavy, Kevin McCullough. These guys need to attack the rim, get them into foul trouble early, as you said. Didn't you say that's what happened against TCU a little bit?
Yeah, they did. Some of the big men did, yep.
So be physical, out physical their guards. I know I'm really, be physical and assertive. I'm kind of harping on this, as my main point. But if we can get guys who can be aggressive and take it to them, do not let their guards bully you and manhandle you, because Baylor, like Tech, is clamping on defense. They have one of the best defenses in the country, and we're going to have to be efficient on offense to have a chance in this one. And to do so, I think it's being aggressive and attacking the rim with our big guards, with our sizable guards.
Just need to clamp
it tight. Nick, give us a key to victory here before we throw it to the prediction.
I think I might have the Raider riot whenever they're doing when we're on defense, just holding up clamps like this, just going like this. Go.
I'm about to re-up on water, but I'm still listening, okay?
You're going to leave the frame?
I'm going to leave the frame for just a second. I'm opening this door. I can still hear you.
What was your question?
What?
What was your question?
Did I say I had a question?
I don't know. You were throwing it to me, but I was too busy.
Oh, no. I was going to say, I was saying, what's a key to victory for you before we get into the predictions?
Key to victory is stopping Jared Butler. If we can stop Jared Butler, there are still other matchups that are important, but like I said against TCU, he pretty much single-handedly, caused them to win the game because of his scoring abilities. I think he's the reigning Big 12 Player of the Year, Jared Butler, and if we can stop him, we got a good chance of being in this game to the end. It's going to be a close one. I do think we're gonna win this game and take one of two on this big week. Top 5 matchups in a row. It's going to be hard, but I think Baylor will pull it out at home at the USA in front of the fans. It's going to be a turning point for our program this year to build momentum going into the last few games of the first half of the Big 12 play, going into the second half of Big 12 play. I think it's going to be a big win. I got us winning 65-60. And you're back, man. Nice.
And I'm back. I was out there. I had to check on Catherine. She was not paying attention and therefore wasn't able to come in and rep the merch. But,
All good.
yeah, I'll give my prediction real quick. And I wasn't very good at articulating that point I was trying to make. I feel bad about that. Really gathering my thoughts there about the reason I was harping on Meyer. Yeah, clamp. My brain was clamped on pulling up stats, but the reason I was bringing up Meyer was just the overall my point of they're physical, but they play small ball. They have a lot of they're guard oriented and they're physical guards, but we have a little height disparity. And I think Texas Tech has the physical guard presence to go toe to toe. So Mayer, he's 6'9". He's their tall. Besides, I think I need to go back and look at the roster, but Mayer's 6'9". They're kind of taller presence, but he's not going to bully you down low. He's a guard. He's not a back to the basket post up or anything. So I think our guards can play with Baylor's guards, even though Baylor, that's their MO and what gives them so much success. So if we can be assertive and attack the rim and use our height, use our athleticism to really take it to them. I have, I'm kind of with you, Nick. I think this is going to be another close game. I put it at 61-57 Baylor. Now that I know it's at home, this was whenever I made that prediction when I thought it was the other way around. As you can see, I thought it was the other way around. I don't know. This one, it could be a close game. And I just hope we pick up one of the two.
Yeah.
Between UT and Baylor. We might be able to, but Baylor they're so good at defense, and we're going to have to play at such a high level offensively and be so effective that's why I have it at 61-57. But who knows, man? If we can pick up one of these, it's going to be a huge win for Chris Beard.
We just need a clamp.
For these guys. Clamp, dude. That's the thing. That'll be the title of this episode, something about clamping.
Clamping.
we got to clamp. # clamp it.
Love it.
All right, dude. Well, with that, we are ready, I think, now to transition out of this tough week ahead for Texas Tech basketball into our hot take segment, talking about a tough departure for the Texas Tech basketball team. I guess I'll go back. I'll leave a little pause here to go back, and we can add our hot take intro song on the audio. But if you're watching the visuals, you're just going to have to do without. Okay, and now, that's all it takes to add the hot take to the audio.
Wonderful.
Nimari Burton, highest rated Texas Tech. Burnett. Sorry, I did that. I did that yesterday in our Instagram Live. It's something with the names. I just can't ever get the names right.
He's gone now, so you can. Say
I can forget that name.
Burton.
Wait, Burnett is that's it. Burton's on the team. Burnett's not. No, I just was trying to think. Dude, it's every episode, man, just a challenge with all these names. But here we are. We're getting through it. The team's getting through it, getting over the loss of Nimari Burnett, and he was the highest rated Texas Tech recruit in program history. Came in 5-star, first McDonald's All-American. Saw a little bit of a mixed reaction from the fan base, although I think we were all somewhat on the same. There are a lot of people, guys that we were close to and girls that we're close to and that follow Texas Tech sports so enthusiastically and closely. It's one of those things where, and this is really the hot take, it's not Chris Beard's fault that we lost to Nimari Burton. And it's also Nimari Burton's not a bad guy for leaving Burnett. I'm never going to get it right, man. Just whenever
you got that right.
Whenever you listen to this podcast, just expect mispronouncing. Now you got me in my head, dude. Now you got me in my head. Mispronunciations.
This is not brought to you by Alpha Brain anymore.
Hooked on Phonics. Now it's brought to you by Hooked on Phonics. I'm about to go get a subscription after this. Pronunciation. So incorrect pronunciation. Expect incorrect pronunciation of names and just the butchering of all names. You're going to have to work through it. I apologize. Hopefully the rest of the content is so good that it can outweigh all the bad pronunciations of names on this podcast, dude. Hopefully.
What a hot take it was. Are we done?
We're not done yet. No, I mean, I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to come up with nicknames so we can get through it. But as I was saying, Nimari Burnett, is still stay with me, guys. Just keep battling, keep working through the bad name pronunciations.
Keep battling through something Burnett did not want to do.
Did not want to battle through. But the thing here is that both of these can be true at the same time. It's not Chris Beard's fault that he left. It's also, Nimari Burnett's not a bad person for leaving the team. It just, we don't know the, external factors that were at play here with if he had, maybe family members or people that were close to him telling him, hey, you're not getting enough playing time. It's outside factors that were, weighing heavy on his conscience or telling him, that he wasn't getting enough. The reality is that you're going to recruit the best talent you can no matter what. Knowing that, Chris Beard, knowing that sometimes, things don't work out and that they, players come to situations that end up just for whatever reason not being the fit that you thought it was. It doesn't mean you're not going to recruit them. And that when they're not playing up to expectation, which I think it's fair to say Nimari was not playing up to the level, the standard that fans were ready for and, that fans were expecting from him. But just because, just because they're not playing up to that level, you're not going to force playing time upon them because of their high school accolades, because of their 5-star rating coming in. If they're not playing up to par, and I think Chris Beard, I think you're not going to give them a ton of playing time. You have to earn. It doesn't matter who you are. You have to earn that PT. And, Burnett just wasn't, not Burton. Burnett just wasn't, he wasn't getting playing time. He wasn't necessarily playing that great on the offensive end. Defensively, he was playing really solid. Offensively, he wasn't getting it done. And therefore, that was the cause for not having him, getting more minutes than what he was. And I don't blame Chris Beard for that. There's just nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, ultimately, I think Burnett is probably going to regret it. And the part of the hot take that I want to make my hot take is I think he's soft. I think Burnett, you're the man.
Hot that is a hot take, baby.
Nimari Burnett was soft, and he was, I think, number 22 ranking prospect coming in to college, and he got 6 minutes in the Kansas State game, and then he announces that he's leaving the program. Yeah. And, so there's some speculation is Chris Beard losing control of the team because Joel left the program too? But no, both these guys are soft.
No. I agree. No, they just didn't like they weren't getting playing time.
Yeah, and it's not Burnett's fault. Like, yeah. I mean,
he's not a bad guy for leaving.
No, yeah, I don't have any bad feelings toward him, but the situation for him coming in was he was going to be the man. He was going to be in the starting lineup, but then you have McClung transfer to Tech. Then you have Jamarius Burton, who transfers to Tech, thinks he's going to sit out. Everyone thinks he's going to sit out for a year. And then, with the NCAA doing their thing about, the COVID season, granting eligibility for everybody, he was going to redshirt. But now Burton's playing too. So Burnett's minutes, him fighting for minutes, I guess he didn't want to do that. That's why I think he's soft. Ultimately, I think he's going to regret it unless he goes to another blue blood program and actually gets a lot of minutes, starting off because Chris Beard develops NBA prospects.
Yeah.
It's been evident since he's been at Tech over the past 3 years. We've had a guy drafted in the first 40 or 45 picks in the draft. And Burnett, if he just gave it a little bit of time and developed and became the kind of basketball player that Chris Beard develops, then he would definitely, have a shot at making it to the NBA. Not to say that he doesn't anymore, but, he didn't want to roll punches and he didn't want to put in the work. And the time that it takes to actually develop as a college prospect for the NBA, he didn't want to do it. And that's why I think he's soft. You can't just leave in the middle of the season. At least stick it out to the end of the year with your boys.
I think hot takes
teammate at that point.
I think hot takes with Laney Cakes would really enjoy your perspective on this hot take and that you're saying what he would want to, because I know he had similar feelings.
Probably,
yeah, similar thoughts and feelings on this. But it's one of those things where sometimes 5-star guys come into the collegiate level with certain expectations. You said, Nick, they're the man in high school, and for whatever reason it just takes them a little longer to adjust, to adapt to the speed of the college game, and it it takes time. And I agree with you that I think over time Nimari would have really turned Burnett would have really turned into a weapon and a a guy that could see some major success at Texas Tech under Chris Beard. Chris Beard develops guys well and gets them ready for the NBA, and that, he could have benefited and prospered from that continuation this year and working with with Chris Beard, and I agree with that. Again, Texas Tech fans, wish him well and move on. The team is, Chris Beard is, the players are, we are. Wish him well and move on. Don't get too hung up on it. But I do agree that, it's unfortunate, I think, when you see a guy kind of get his back up against the wall and instead of choosing to compete and to work hard, you want to go a different route. Again, it's his choice.
Yeah.
He's more than welcome to make it. And Chris Beard said it as well. He's I forgot the terminology he used, but he said he got the text from Nimari in the morning before practice, and it solidified it was a text. Yeah. Which I also kind of thought, dude, meet with your coach in person, bro, and tell him face to face. Don't I agree with that. Don't yeah. I mean, I had at Millsaps, I had to have some tough meetings with my coach, and it wasn't fun, but you got to do it, dude. You can't do it over text. It's it's just like you don't break up with somebody over text, dude.
That's what I was gonna say. You do not break up with somebody over text. No. You go and you stick it out and do it in person. And if the fact that I didn't know that he texted Beard about that.
Yeah. But Coach Beard said, yeah, right. At least, but Chris Beard said it solidified his opinion of Nimari, which was first class, which was first class guy, and that what he said to him was very heartfelt, compassionate, and we wish him the best. We hope Nimari goes out and has success, does well wherever he lands. But it's my kind of take on this, and I'll end it with this. The hot take is that don't blame Chris Beard. There is not an institutional lack of control. He's not these guys. It's not his fault these guys are leaving. If you can't play your way, into this lineup and find, eat up more minutes by proving it on the floor, like we've seen Kevin McCullough do immediately off of his injury, like we've seen Micah Peavy. That's a great example of a freshman who wasn't as highly rated, who came in and busted his ass. It's not Beard's fault that he recruits these guys and that, they're –
You got to recruit the best.
Yeah, you got to recruit the best. And here's the thing. If they're not playing well, you're not just going to give them playing time because of who they were in high school and what they did in high school. That's not how it works. You're going to play the best guys. You're going to make sure that, your team's in the best position to win. And if it doesn't work out, it's an unfortunate separation. It's an unfortunate departure from the program. We wish him all the best, but don't blame Chris Beard for his coaching style. Nick said it. If guys are soft, they're not going to fit in to the culture of Texas Tech basketball. And as a fan, I'm okay with that. We want guys that want to be there to bust their ass, work hard, and that buy into the program. And that's the kind of, those are the dudes who are going to succeed and prosper and find the most success in this program, I should say.
Yeah. And last point for me is, it's like you said, you do want the best talent in there, and it is crowded. The guards, we are very guard heavy on this team. Everybody's going to have another year of eligibility. So, you could see McClung coming back. Burton's definitely coming back. Shannon might be gone, so there's a little room there. But, it's a competitive guard-heavy roster, and we have more guys coming up through, recruiting this year with Jalen Tyson, who I think dropped 30 this weekend. He's still in high school. And, it's competitive.
Burnett, he looks good, man. I'm excited for him.
Yeah, Burnett simply did not want to compete for a position and compete for minutes. So see you later, softy.
Hey, you know what the good news is? There you go. Shots fired by Nick. You know what the good news is, though, is that we still have Burton. So now I have no excuse. There's only one name I'm forced to say, and I will learn it. I promise I will pronounce it correctly, especially after I go do my Hooked on Phonics learning sessions that are coming up. This episode is now brought to you by Hooked on Phonics as well. There's only one guy, one name that I can't, one name for me to butcher moving forward, and that is Jamarius Burton. So if anything positive out of this, it's now that y'all don't have to listen to me fumble around with these two guys' names anymore. That's a positive. That's a silver lining.
Yeah.
All right, dude. I know we're maybe running a little long now, so let's go ahead and jump right into our Matador Motivational, man. This harder. It makes it difficult. We've got to work on that to sync up on the Matador Motivational if one of us is lagging.
Let's do it one more time.
All right, here we go. Ready?
1, 2, 3.
Matador Motivational.
Why'd you stop so you started?
Dude, I'm watching you. Hold on. Do it again. I'm watching you. It looked like you were pausing.
There might be a lag effect. 3,
right, ready?
2, 1.
Matador Motivational.
Motivational.
Forget it. It's a lost cause. It's hopeless. Nick, lead us into this one. This is your MM, and I think it's a good one.
Yeah, let's see where this takes us, because it was off the cuff, kind of happened a few hours ago. The thought occurred to me a few hours ago. I was working on the outline for the episode, and I received a call from someone at St. Jude's, the Children's Hospital. And as you know, 10% of all of our merchandise for the Ramblin Raiders gets 10% of our merchandise, profits gets donated to charities on a monthly basis of our choosing around the U.S. And it's just part of our merchandise promotion, 10% and or more. And I got a call from this older lady. You could tell she was, she wasn't a young lady, and she called me from St. Jude's. It was her job. You could tell she was reaching out to the people that donate. We've donated a few times, I think.
Yeah, at least twice. Yeah.
Yeah. So they know who we are, and they have my information, and they know that we make pretty decent donations to them. And I really, whenever she first started talking and told me she was from St. Jude's, we get so much mail from them already, and I get emails, and I was really close to just hanging up. I was like,
you just weren't having it.
It's easy to hang up on people that, aren't going to have anything to offer you.
Mm-hmm.
So I was really close to hanging up, and I was like, you know what, she sounded old. I felt bad. I was like, let me just hear what she has to say and what she needs or what she wants. And of course, she's basically a telemarketer, and asking if I wanted to start making monthly donations on behalf of the Ramblin Raiders. And I was like, well, we already do make monthly donations.
You were like, we're poor.
Just not the St. Jude's every month. And
we're too poor to donate.
I respectfully told her no a few times. And, she was going through, you could tell she had a little script that she was going through, like trying to ask
it off.
Well, we have a lot of people that say no to the $50 donation monthly. Will you be open to doing $15 monthly? And I was like, well, I do make donations from time to time. I don't want to make it a monthly thing to St. Jude's. And then she was like, well, would you make a one-time donation? I was like, yeah, we'll do that. So that might be our monthly donation this month, or maybe I'll just do it as a side thing. But
one more to St. Jude's, yeah.
Yeah. But after we hung up, I was like, wow, like this. And she was very respectful, very like, oh, thank you so much. Like, the children are going to benefit so much. Their families, they do this, and that, and the families benefit from that, this, and that. And whenever she hung up, I was like, well, really, like in my head, I was like, well, telemarketers, although they can be really annoying and pushy, this one was from charity, so you feel better about them. But it's a hard job, and a lot of the people that are on the other end of the line, they mean really well. And it's one of the toughest jobs to have, is getting hung up all the time, getting yelled at.
Yeah.
I've seen videos of people like taking the phone and like putting like a pot from like the kitchen over it and just banging on it. So they're on the other line, they hear this loud noise. Like, I've seen videos of that online.
Don't, I mean, God, hanging up is one thing. Don't be that person.
Yeah.
What a douche.
That's extreme,
Yeah.
But we need to respect we need to respect the people on the other end of the line, no matter what. We all are humans, and this has been a tough year. And probably chances are they don't want to have that job, but they need that job as being a telemarketer. And we need to respect them. In the case of today, it was a really old lady, I could tell, and she probably, needed some extra cash, so she got this job. And we need to respect them, and just remember that they are humans too on the other end of the line.
Yeah, no, that's really a fitting Matador motivational for this last week, because I have a story to tell too, and I'm glad you brought it up. It's an interesting and unique perspective that you don't typically take. I mean, people just want to get through their day. They don't want their time. They're like, oh, this is wasting my time, and that's probably the thought process behind it.
Yeah.
Last week, in front of I got a call on, not from my cell phone, but on our work phone at the Capitol, the office phone, and I was with our new intern, who we've been fielding calls from constituents worried about this upcoming session or certain things that are going on at the federal level that we talk to, and we field their complaints and their concerns. And so at first I thought it was a machine. Now, which I will give y'all permission. If it is a machine, hang the damn phone up. Don't waste your time.
Yeah.
That's Ramblin Raiders approved. But at first I thought it was a machine because I would say something and then it felt like it was an automated response. I didn't think about the fact that this person is literally reading through a script that they have. And so I finally asked, I go, is this a machine? I was like, is this, I can't tell. And the guy started laughing. It was like, no, I'm real. And I should have handled it better, and I was like, well, he was selling solar, basically. He was trying to do solar, like light fixtures and light installments for houses and, condominiums, apartments and everything. And I was like, you've dialed my work number. This is our office. Our lighting is handled and taken care of for us. We have no
by the state.
we have no input. We don't get to decide what our, that's out of our hands. So we don't even have any input on what our lighting is in our offices. That's all done by maintenance and by the house property office. And I said that quickly, and the guy kind of kept reading through it. And I was like, dude, he's like, well, do you live in a house? I was like, yes, I rent a room in a house from a buddy of mine and all this. And, he was trying to go from there. And I ended up just hanging up and not being respectful, as you said, Nick. And sometimes when people are being a little too pushy, you can just say, look, have a nice day, respect what you're doing, but it's not for me. And then, exit the conversation, but be respectful doing it. That's what I should have done instead of just hanging up on him when people are a little pushy. But at the end of the day, you have to remember, and that's the the different perspective that Nick brought up that I've been a part of. I've been on the other end of the sale before, and these people are just doing their job. They're doing something that, as Nick pointed out, they might not want to be at that job, but they're doing it to make ends meet, to provide for their families. Let's treat each other respectfully. Let's be kind. Let's be understanding. Whatever video you just talked about someone banging a pot, you're a jackass. Whoever was doing that, like, that's not tight. It's not funny. You're just a jerk, dude. That's like, why would you just hang up? Yeah, there's no need to be an a-hole about it. But I've been on the campaign trail where we talking about like canvassing and telemarketing and trying to provide a sales service where you're going out. I've had to advocate on behalf of the guy I'm working for, my member, where it's we've done door to door, knocking on doors, handing out literature, handing out pamphlets, saying, if you have time, could you read through this, flip through it, and let us know if you have any questions. Check out our website, and be sure to vote for my boss come election, for good reason. And kind of do a short, quick spiel. But dude, I've had some coworkers who've gotten guns pulled on them. I mean, and these are just young 20-year-olds, or sometimes even high school age teenagers, young 20-year-olds, older 20-year-olds like me, sometimes even older than that, but that are going and just doing their job. They're simply doing their job. They're not, they just want to hand you this pamphlet, this piece of paper, tell you, hey, go check it out. Hopefully you vote for my guy, and then leave. They're not trying to ruin your day. They're not trying to mess up your time, but to just treat people how you want to be treated. The golden rule is, go back to square one. It's be respectful. I've had to do cold calling before for campaigning as well.
Yeah.
It's 5 minutes, 3 minutes of your day. Just, if you were in that situation, how would you want other people to treat you? Let them go through their process. Or if you don't want to listen to it, be respectful, be kind about it. And the people that do that, I respect that as well. But don't be this person that just treats others poorly because they're doing a job that they might not necessarily want to be doing,
Yeah. And it's one thing if this, you could tell it's like a call center, and they're calling you like weekly, like daily, weekly, and they keep, badgering you about stuff. But that's one thing. You can put them on like a blocked caller list, or hang up on them. But if it's somebody who, is actually a real person, and they're actually, even if they are pushing product onto you, or, whatnot, it is a tough job. Just give them the time of day, give them time to practice, because if you keep getting hung up on, they're not going to get any better.
Just be a good person, basically.
Yeah, we need to respect the people on the other end of the line. And, unless your name is Jordan Belfort and you're the Wolf of Wall Street, making a sale over the phone is the hardest thing in the world. So respect the other person on the line. Kind of a weird Matador motivational, but it popped up in my head. And
I thought it was good.
Just respect in 2021. Respect people.
RESPECT. Find
Yeah,
out what it
Lord.
means to me. All right, man. Well, how are we gonna do this outro?
We're just gonna say goodbye and
Are we doing a cold outro? We have to figure this out with now that we're recording.
how did we do it with the Ronald Ross interview? I think we just hung up, right?
I think we did just exit. We exited stage left.
For this episode, I don't, with us moving to visual recordings,
Do you want me to play it on my phone?
it's something. No, I don't. It's something that we're gonna have to figure out.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm good with you giving us our last minute plugs and then just saying sayonara.
Oh man, it's gonna be sad for our listeners on Apple Pod and Spotify. I know that's that ending always gets me pumped up because of the song. Are you sure you don't want me to just get a little jam going on my phone?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, no fun. Nick No Fun Thompson. There it is.
That's right.
But yeah, okay. So we hope you all enjoyed this episode. We promise we will. For our listeners who don't like to, stare at us during the visual recordings, we hope you guys can, adapt over time. But we understand we will get to a point where we're going to have this figured out, and we'll do our normal outro song with this. But remember to go follow us on social media. We're on Facebook. Oh, I don't even know if I actually went through this in the beginning, so this is good. Facebook, Ramblin Raiders Podcast, Instagram at Ramblin Raiders, and Twitter at Ramblin Raiders. We like to be interactive and stay up to date with all of our followers. So be sure to check us out on social media. Our website is ramblinraiders.com. We have good merch on there. We have our write-ups. We have just a lot of solid information about Ramblin Raiders Media and about the podcast that we are hosting and presenting to y'all. So check out the website, get you some merch. Nick, any last words as we get ready to sign off?
Go check us out on YouTube. We'll have this video along with last week's video.
Twitch is a work in progress, right? Twitch is coming.
Yeah, Twitch is a work in progress. Hopefully next week we'll be in our regular studio. I'm not sure what your schedule is looking like, Jay, but
figure something out. Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be in our regular studio for a recording episode. And yeah, go check us out, support, follow, and watch.
That's right. Subscribe, rate, review, subscribe, watch, drop a sub, do it all. Let's get ready to have a good week. Hopefully pick up 1, maybe 2 dubs against top 5 rated basketball teams. Good luck to the Lady Red Raiders playing right now against Iowa State. I hope they're getting it done as well. And that's all we got, Nick. Let's try to hit this at the same time, man. All that practice earlier. You ready for it?
Yep.
All right, y'all have a great week. We out.
That was
dude. All right, yeah, we can't do it like this, man. We're going to have to adapt. See y'all later.
Peace out.
Peace out.
Reckham, guns up, and ramble on.
Dude, we should have stopped at peace out, man. Accidental success.
Hey, it's still recording, so see y'all later.
Guns up, man. Y'all